listening to the Holy Bible 1-Year Challenge with Master Storyteller Michael Wood, featuring the easy-to-read version and used by permission from Bible League International. Enjoy the show!
Hello everyone, welcome to day 134. We are continuing in the book of Judges, and we see the tribe Dan looking for land. They're one of the only tribes that hasn't claimed anything yet, so they send out some spies, and they try to find a worthy place to call home. And it doesn't matter if anybody already lives there, because with God's help, they'll just kick them out, or kill them all, and then kick them out. And along the way, they come across a man named Micah. And you'll remember him from last chapter. He's the Levite with a whole collection of idols in his house. And he also has a young Levite living with him. And in chapter 19, we meet a different Levite, and we hear the story of what happens to his woman servant. And let me warn you folks, it takes a very sharp turn for the worst. Viewer discretion is advised. And we are continuing in the book of John. And Jesus makes it clear that he is the light of the world. But some people just don't understand Jesus. So stay with us to see how Jesus reacts to this. If you enjoy the show, visit me at patreon.com/storymaster. You'll find the link in the description box below. By contributing as little as $1 per month, you will enable me to continue this ministry, and you'll get cool rewards too. Together, we're going to get through the Bible in 1 year. Let's get started. Judges chapter 18. At that time, the Israelites did not have a king, and the tribe of Dan was still looking for a place to live. They did not have their own land yet. The other tribes of Israel already had their land, but the tribe of Dan had not taken their land. So the tribe of Dan sent 5 soldiers to look for some land. They went to search for a good place to live. These 5 men were from the cities of Zorah and Eshtaol. They were chosen because they were from all the families of Dan. They were told, "Go look for some land." The 5 men came to the hill country of Ephraim. They came to Micah's house and spent the night there. When the 5 men came close to Micah's house, they heard the voice of the young Levite. They recognized his voice, so they stopped at Micah's house. They asked the young man, "Who brought you to this place? What are you doing? Why are you here?" The young man told them what Micah had done for him.
"Micah hired me,"
he said.
"I am his priest."
So they said to him, "Please ask God if our search for a place to live will be successful." The priest said to the 5 men,
"Yes, go in peace. The Lord will lead you on your way."
So the 5 men left. They came to the city of Laish and saw that the people of that city lived in safety. They were ruled by the people of Sidon. Everything was peaceful and quiet. The people had plenty of everything, and they didn't have any enemies nearby to hurt them. Also, they lived a long way from the city of Sidon, and they did not have any agreements with the people of Aram. The 5 men went back to the cities of Zorah and Eshtaol. Their relatives asked them, "What did you learn?" The 5 men answered, "We have found some land, and it is very good. We should attack them. Don't wait. Let's go take that land. When you come to that place, you will see that there is plenty of land. There is plenty of everything there. They will also see that people are not expecting an attack. Surely God has given that land to us." So 600 men from the tribe of Dan left the cities of Zorah and Eshtaol. They were ready for battle. On their way to the city of Laish, they stopped near the city of Kiriath Jearim in the land of Judah. They set up a camp there. That is why the place west of Kiriath Jearim is named Mahaneh Dan to this very day. From there, the 600 men traveled on to the hill country of Ephraim. Then they came to Micah's house. So the 5 men who had explored the land around Laish spoke. They said to their relatives, "There is an ephod in one of those houses, and there are also household gods, a carved statue." and a silver idol. You know what to do." So they stopped at Micah's house where the young Levite lived. They asked the young man how he was. The 600 men from the tribe of Dan stood at the entrance of the gate. They all had their weapons and were ready for battle. The 5 spies went into the house. The priest stood just outside by the gate with the 600 men who were ready for battle. The men took the carved idol, the ephod, the household idols, and the silver idol. The young Levite priest said,
What are you doing?
The 5 men answered, "Be quiet and don't say a word. Come with us. Be our father and our priest. You must choose. Is it better for you to be a priest for just one man, or for the whole tribe of Israelites with many family groups?" This made the Levite happy, so he took the ephod, the household idols, and the idol. He went with the men from the tribe of Dan. Then the 600 men from the tribe of Dan and the Levite priest turned and left Micah's house. They put their little children, their animals, and all their things in front of them. The men from the tribe of Dan had gone a long way from Micah's house. But then the people living near Micah met together. They began chasing the men of Dan and caught up with them. The men with Micah were shouting at the men of Dan. The men of Dan turned around and said to Micah, "Oh, what's the problem? Why are you shouting?" Micah answered,
"You men from Dan took my idols. I made them for myself. You've also taken my priest. What do I have left now? How can you ask me what's the problem?"
The men from the tribe of Dan answered, "You had better not argue with us. Some of our men become angry easily. If you shout at us, they will attack you. You and your families will be killed." Then the men of Dan turned around and went on their way. Micah knew that these men were too strong for him, so he went back home. So the men of Dan took the idols that Micah had made. They also took the priest who had been with Micah. Then they came to Laish and attacked the people living there. Those people were at peace, so they were not expecting an attack. The men of Dan killed them with their swords and then burned the city. The people living in Laish did not have anyone to rescue them. They lived too far from the city of Sidon for the people there to help, and the people of Laish did not have any agreements with the people of Aram, so they did not help them. The city of Laish was in a valley which belonged to the town of Beth Rehob. The people from Dan built a new city in that place, and it became their home. The people of Dan gave the city a new name. That city had been called Laish. They changed the name to Dan. They named the city after their ancestor Dan, one of the sons of Israel. The people of the tribe of Dan set up the idol in the city of Dan. They made Jonathan, son of Gershom, their priest. Gershom was the son of Moses. Jonathan and his sons were priests for the tribe of Dan until the time when the Israelites were taken into captivity. The people of Dan set up for themselves the idol that Micah had made. That idol was there the whole time that the house of God was in Shiloh. Judges chapter 19. A Levite and his woman servant. At that time, the Israelites did not have a king. There was a Levite who lived far back in the hill country of Ephraim. He had taken a slave woman as a wife. She was from the city of Bethlehem in the country of Judah, but his slave woman had an argument with him. She left him and went back to her father's house in Bethlehem in Judah. She stayed there for 4 months. Then her husband went after her. He wanted to speak kindly to her so that she would come back to him. He took with him his servant and 2 donkeys. The Levite came to her father's house. Her father saw the Levite and came out to greet him. The father was very happy. Her father insisted that he stay with them. So he stayed for 3 days. They ate, drank, and slept in his father-in-law's house. On the fourth day, they got up early in the morning. The Levite was getting ready to leave, but the young woman's father said to his son-in-law,
Eat something first. After you eat, you can go.
So the Levite and his father-in-law sat down to eat and drink together. After that, the young woman's father said to the Levite,
Please stay tonight. Relax and enjoy yourself.
So the two men ate together. The Levite got up to leave, but his father-in-law persuaded him to stay the night again. Then, on the fifth day, the Levite got up early in the morning. He was ready to leave, but the woman's father said to his son-in-law,
Eat something first. Relax and stay until this afternoon.
So they both ate together again. Then the Levite, his slave woman, and his servant got up to leave. But the young woman's father said,
It is almost dark. The day is almost gone. So stay the night here and enjoy yourself. Tomorrow morning, you can get up early and go on your way.
The Levite did not want to stay another night. He took his 2 donkeys and his slave woman. He traveled as far as the city of Jebus, that is, Jerusalem. When the day was almost over, they came near to the city of Jebus. So the servant said to his master, the Levite,
Let's stop at this Jebusite city and stay the night here.
But his master, the Levite man, said,
No, we will not go inside a strange city. Those people are not Israelites. We will go to the city of Gibeah. Come on, let's try to make it to Gibeah or Ramah and can stay the night in one of those cities.
So the Levite and those with them traveled on. The sun was going down just as they entered the city of Gibeah. Gibeah is in the area that belongs to the tribe of Benjamin. They planned to stop there and stay the night. They came to the city square and sat down, but no one invited them home to stay the night. That evening, an old man came into the city from the fields. His home was in the hill country of Ephraim, but now he was living in the city of Gibeah. The men of Gibeah were from the tribe of Benjamin. The old man saw the traveler in the public square and asked,
Where are you going? Where did you come from?
The Levite answered,
We have come from Bethlehem in Judah, where I went for a visit. Now I am on my way home, which is a long way into the hill country of Ephraim. I expected that someone here would invite us in for the night, but no one has. We already have straw and food for our donkeys. There is also bread and wine for me, the young woman, and my servant. We don't need anything else.
The old man said,
You are welcome to stay at my house. I will give you anything you need, but don't stay the night in the public square.
Then the old man took the Levite and the people with him to his house. He fed their donkeys, they washed their feet, and then had something to eat and drink. While the Levite and those who were with them were enjoying themselves, some evil men from the city surrounded the house. They began beating on the door. They shouted at the old man who owned the house. They said,
Bring out the man who came to your house. We want to have sex with him.
The old man went outside and said to them,
My friends, don't do such an evil thing. This man is a guest in my house. It would be wrong for you to do something so awful. My daughter is here. She has never had sex before, and my guest has a slave woman here. I will bring her and my daughter out to you, and you can use them any way you want. But don't do such a terrible thing to this man.
But the men outside would not listen to him. So the Levite took his slave woman and put her outside with them. They raped her and abused her all night long. Then they let her go. It was almost dawn when the woman returned to the house where her master was staying. She fell down at the front door and lay there until daylight. That morning, the Levite got up and prepared to go. When he opened the door to leave, there was his slave woman lying in the doorway with her hands reaching for the door. The Levite said to her,
Get up. Let's go.
but she did not answer. The Levite put her body on his donkey and went home. When he arrived at his house, he took a knife and cut her body into 12 parts. Then he sent one of the 12 parts of the woman to each of the areas where the Israelites lived. Everyone who saw this said, "Nothing like this has ever happened in Israel before. We haven't seen anything like this from the time we came out of Egypt. So what do you think about this? What should be done? Who has an idea?" John chapter 8, verses 12 through 30. Jesus is the light of the world. Once again, Jesus talked to the people. He said, "I am the light of the world. Whoever follows me will never live in darkness. They will have the light that gives life." But the Pharisees said to Jesus,
When you talk about yourself, you're the only one to say that these things are true. So we cannot accept what you say.
Jesus answered, "Yes, I am saying these things about myself, but people can believe what I say because I know where I came from, and I know where I am going. But you don't know where I came from or where I am going. You judge me the way people judge other people. I don't judge anyone. But if I judge, my judging is true because when I judge, I am not alone. The Father who sent me is with me. Your own law says that when two witnesses say the same thing, you must accept what they say. I am one of the witnesses who speaks about myself, and the Father who sent me is the other witness." People asked.
Where is your father?
Jesus answered, "You don't know me or my Father, but if you knew me, you would know my Father too." Jesus said these things while he was teaching in the temple area, near the place where the temple offerings were collected. But no one arrested him because the right time for him had not yet come. Again, Jesus said to these people, "I will leave you. You will look for me, but you will die without forgiveness for your sin. You cannot come where I am going." This caused the Jewish leaders there to ask themselves,
Will he kill himself? Was that why he said, "You cannot come where I am going"?
But Jesus said to them, "You people are from here below, but I am from above. You belong to this world, but I don't belong to this world. I told you that you would die without forgiveness for your sins. Yes, if you don't believe that I am, you will die without forgiveness for your sins." They asked.
Then, who are you?
Jesus answered, "Before I say anything, I wonder why I am even talking to you. There are so many things I could say to criticize you, but I tell people what I have heard from the one who sent me. He speaks the truth." They did not understand that he was talking about his Father. So he said to them, "You will lift up the Son of Man. Then you will know that I am. You will know that whatever I do is not by my own authority. You will know that I say only what the Father has taught me. The one who sent me is with me. I always do what pleases him, so he has not left me alone." While he was saying these things, many people believed in him. Psalm 60, verses 5 through 12. Use your great power and give us victory. Answer our prayer and save the people you love. From his temple, God made this promise.
I will enjoy victory and give the land to my people. I will divide up the city of Shechem for them. I will give them Succoth Valley, piece by piece. The lands of Gilead and Manasseh will be mine. Ephraim will be my helmet. Judah will be my royal scepter. Moab will be the bull for washing my feet. Edom will be the slave who carries my sandals. I will shout in victory over the Philistines.
But God, it seems that you have rejected us. You do not go out with our army. So who will lead me into the strong protected city? Who will lead me into battle against Edom? Help us defeat the enemy. No one on earth can rescue us. With God on our side, we can win the battle. Only He can defeat our enemies. Thank you, everyone. That was day 134. Join us for day 135. We're finishing the book of Judges, and in this epic finale, word gets around about what had happened to this slave woman of the Levite. And so there's war between Israel and the tribe of Benjamin. And in the book of John, Jesus talks about freedom from sin and addresses some of the scandalous allegations made against him. We hope you enjoyed today's verses. Be sure to leave us a positive review and to share this podcast with your friends and family. Please join us for the next episode as we experience the Bible in 1 year.
Did you know we offer online courses in creative writing, literature, and web design? Visit us at storymaster.online to learn more.